My question has to do with parenting, actually. Basically, do Christian parents need to prohibit the reading and or watching of things with magic or non-Christian spirituality present? Also, should playtime be monitored to stop children from pretending that they have magic? I would like to know your thoughts on Disney princesses, Percy Jackson, etc. Granted, Disney has a whole host of problems, but I'm thinking specifically of fairy tales and mythology. I'm a C.S. Lewis and Tolkien fan, so I struggle with where to draw the line. Typically, what we do is watch or read as a family and then discuss the concepts taught versus Christianity. Thank you for offering all of us the chance to ask some questions. You're welcome. Hopefully, I'll be able to do more of these soon. Okay, and actually, I love talking about parenting. All right, I'm going to give the best answer I can on this from a biblical, parental, and Christian perspective with a background in the New Age. And hopefully this is balanced and biblical. First, I'm going to come right off and say that I do believe that this is an area of personal conviction on many levels. What might be a strong conviction from one parent may not be for another. And I think there's a reasonable amount of freedom here in this aspect where it's not sinful. Second, I don't agree with Christians who think we need to impossibly rid of everything that's been tainted by the world in any way, or that we need to avoid everything that has to do with imaginary magic. I say that this is not only impossible, but it has a danger of getting really legalistic and puts an impossible yoke on people that not even they can carry, right? Like, can you imagine holding yourself to that standard? Like, think of it for a second where you can't read or watch or have anything to do with something that doesn't have some sort of Christianity present within it. That's just not doable. Scripture does say not to have anything to do with the deeds of darkness, but I do not think that that can be misused as a blanket statement to make Christians paranoid about what they're reading or watching and doing every day. So from the days of the week to the platform that you're watching this on, right? From the clothes on our backs to the phone in your hands, you are participating somehow in deeds of darkness. So the deeds of darkness that Scripture talks about are very different. That being said, I also don't agree with parents who are on the other end of the spectrum, actively involving their kids in witchcraft, like, for example, tarot reading, praying or communicating with other entities, spirit energies. Things like that. Syncretizing beliefs, where you take just a little bit of Christianity and all these other beliefs and you mix them together. No, I don't agree with that at all. Third, I would say that we would probably use just our good common sense, right? With some exceptions, I actually don't prohibit my girls from a lot of things. I inoculate them. And of course, I'm aware of their ages with this, and I come at it from a perspective that they can understand. And I don't know, maybe it's because my ministry background is in cults, like that's how I got started, but I see the same extreme restrictions that some Christians have that, say, a Jehovah's Witness would have. So to them, everything outside the watchtower is demonic influenced, including you and me and our kids. They don't allow them to think for themselves and look to the watchtower to dictate their lives and how they think. I see some of these parallels in the church, and I don't think that's really healthy. I think we need to know how to think, to know what to think, and this involves critical thinking. So all that being said, I don't think imagination or play, magic play is bad. I think that this is very natural for kids. My educational background is in early childhood multicultural education. I worked with kids for many years. It's perfectly natural for kids to pretend and imagine. You literally cannot stop this. Their brain is wired to pretend. I would not say that it's demonic or witchcraft. And to be clear, I'm not saying that you're implying this, but I'm giving a thoughtful thought that might be helpful for others. Second, as far as prohibiting all reading and watching of things with magic or non-Christian themes, again, I think this needs to be done tactfully and with balance. Right now, I'm actually doing a deep dive into children's books with LGBTQ themes that are being forced on them. Personally, I think this is more of a concern than magic themes that are in some kids' books, only because one is simple use of imagination. It can be that and can actually be healthy for many kids, especially those who need a mental and emotional outlet. I choose to have really open, cards on the table conversations with my girls, with my kiddos about stuff that might be overboard with magic references, though. For me personally, I love the fantasy genre, especially Lord of the Rings, C.S. Lewis, and I'm also an artist, so I love to use my imagination. And one thing you said is that typically what you do is watch or read as a family and then discuss the concepts taught versus Christianity. That is brilliant. Do that. We are raising the next generation, and too many kids these days didn't have this. They weren't able to have a space to ask questions and good answers. So basically, we're in the world and participate in many things in the world. We can never escape that. So what we do is we contextualize these things instead of syncretize them. I think that that's a great way to help set up our kids to succeed spiritually.